everyone, and welcome back to our Dark Revenge Productions. My name is Chad, and thank you for joining me for another episode. Today, if you have not already read in the title below, last night they had Money in the Bank for WWE, and I gotta say that I'm pretty impressed. It was not too bad of a pay-per-view this time. There was a lot of action. There was a lot of twists and turns. There's a lot of different things happened. A few things that I had already said would happen, and a few things that I was wrong about. So we're going to get into all that and much more. But before we do, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has joined this channel, everyone who has joined this family. We are now at 206 subscribers. So I do definitely appreciate those of you who have been loyal to this channel, who have been staying active on this channel, and I definitely want to say thank you to those of you who have recently joined the Dark Revenge family. So with all that said and done, let's go ahead, let's get right into this, and let's get into the WWE Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get things started off with at the kickoff, it was Goldust and R-Truth versus Fandango and Prince Pretty, and it was a pretty good match. The kickoff wasn't all that great, but at the end of it all said and done, Goldust was able to get the pin and give Goldust and R-Truth, which is called the Golden Truth, the pin and the win for their very first win as a tag team. So maybe they are finally going to start being on a roll and finally start winning some matches, because since they've been a tag team, they really haven't won any matches at all. And so who knows, maybe this is time for them to finally get some recognition as a tag team. So after the kickoff of WWE Money in the Bank, they had their very first match, which was for the tag team titles. You had Enzo and Kaz as a tag team. You had the Von Villains. Of course, you had New Day, and you also had the Club, which is Anderson and Gallows. You know, the two guys that are part of the AJ Styles storyline. The three of them are friends from Japan. They've wrestled all around the world together, and now they're all in WWE. The match was pretty entertaining. I think as far as this match goes, I feel there could have been a lot more things happening with like the ladders and other equipment around them, and just more things could have been utilized better than they did, especially when you have so many people in one ring together. But you know, it wasn't too bad of a match. And of course, at the end of the match, the New Day did come out at the end. They did win the retain their tag team titles, and at this point now, they're coming up there on the rankings as far as holding the tag team titles the longest. If they continue, you know, for a little bit longer, they're going to be the longest holding tag team champions the WWE's had. So maybe that's what WWE is going for. I don't know. I'm hoping at this point that they don't cut the New Day short of having that chance or the opportunity to be able to be the top tag team that's held the tag team championships the longest. I hope that the WWE continues to allow them to get to that point, and let them do that. So after the that match had happened, after the New Day, you know, talked their smack after the match was over and everything else, then we had to go backstage and do a little backstage talk, which then you had Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, and Alberto Del Rio trash talking each other, you know, pumping each other up for the match, you know, things like that. And I don't know, it just seemed, well, first off, it just seemed like with Kevin Owens, I feel like he's one of the better trash talkers that WWE has right now. But it just seemed, as far as his trash talk went last night on Money in the Bank, it just seemed like it was really weak, and it was just like it was either badly written or he just wasn't into it. One of the two. As far as Chris Jericho goes, if you've been watching for the last few weeks, a couple months with Chris Jericho, you just see that it's just how he wrestles, how he's talking. It's not the same Chris Jericho we all know. And so it just seems like it's diminishing each week, and it's just not as great as it was at one time. So, hang on. Excuse me for that. And then, of course, Alberto Del Rio came in. And, when Alberto talks, it's always him speaking Spanish and calling people Pedros and things like that. And right away, Kevin Owens is like, oh, are you here to speak Spanish? Are you here to call us all Pedros? And this and that. And not once did Alberto call anybody a Pedro for the first time, and he kind of stayed away from the whole Spanish thing, which I don't know why that he did that, because that's kind of like his gimmick. That's kind of like what he does. But the three of them were okay as far as their ranting back and forth and trying to trash each other. If I had to rate just the backstage alone between a 1 to 5, I'd have gave it maybe a 2. It could have been a lot better done. It could have been a lot better scripted. But, but that was that. And I just feel like it wasn't as well done as it could have been. Now, the next match was Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. They've been having a rivalry for some time now. And it just, Dolph Ziggler feels like Corbin's trying to use Dolph Ziggler to get a name out there for himself and to become somebody within WWE. So Ziggler's had an issue with this, and he told Corbin, "You're not going to make a name off of me." But the thing is, back in NXT, Corbin already made a name for himself. He was already recognized as somebody, and that's why he got brought to the main roster. Now, will he make it as a top superstar in the main roster? Honestly, I don't have any bad feelings towards Corbin. I don't feel like he'll be a top superstar. I think maybe he'll be a mid card, but he will not. I don't believe he'll become a top superstar in the main roster. When they do the whole branding of Raw and SmackDown, I feel maybe he should go. He should be one of the ones who does go to SmackDown, and he may have. I think he would have a better opportunity in SmackDown at first, and then maybe come to Raw afterwards. But that's just going to have to happen. Wait and see. As far as Dolph Ziggler goes, he's an awesome wrestler. He's probably one of the better wrestlers that WWE has as far as technique goes. His trash talk skills are pretty good. He hasn't really been on the mic a whole lot, trash talking and all that like he was at one time. It seems like with WWE, they give him a push, they cut him right down. They give him a push, they cut him right down. Every time that he gets close to getting that big push, something else happens, and it just brings him right back down. It just seems like he cannot get a break. But then again, there's a lot of superstars in the WWE who are the same way. You have Bray Wyatt, you have a few other wrestlers who get up there and then get pushed right back down the ladder again. Why, I really don't know, but that's the way it is. That's how it happens. Then your next match was the females match for the women's championship, which was, it was a tag team match, which had the WWE Divas champion, women's champion, whatever you want to call it, in the match. It was Dana Brooks and Charlotte versus Becky Lynch and Natalya. Again, this match wasn't too bad. It was a women's match, which we all know the women's matches really aren't all that great, but they are what they are. So the match went on and went on. There was a few good matches, a few good points in it. But at the end, Dana Brooks and Charlotte did win the match. What happened was at the end is Becky Lynch went to grab Dana Brooks by her hair and, or no, grab Charlotte by her hair, and Dana Brooks came in, grabbed Becky Lynch, pulled her back, and then threw her. And when she did, she hit Natalya, which knocked Natalya down and gave Charlotte the win. Now, and again, I apologize. It wasn't Becky Lynch. It was Natalya that was holding Charlotte's hair. But anyways, at the end of the match was over and said and done. Becky Lynch was trying to comfort Natalya. I don't know what she was saying to her. Probably, I'm sorry, trying to explain to her what happened. It looked like everything was okay, but then as they were starting to walk out the ring, Natalya had backsided. Becky Lynch started beating the crap out of her and just started beating her down, and then got back up, kind of looked at her and walked away. So I'm expecting there to be some kind of backlash or something going on tonight between Becky Lynch and Natalya tonight on Monday Night Raw, which I'll give you a review on that probably tonight. If not, first thing tomorrow morning, you'll get a review on the Monday Night Raw like I give you all every week. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens between Becky Lynch and Natalya. I do feel like that would be a good match between the two of them because they are both good wrestlers, and I just hope that in a way it doesn't ruin their friendship. But when situations like this happen, that's usually what happens, is the friendship gets ruined. Sometimes it doesn't, but usually it does. Now the next match is a match that, since the start of this rivalry, I've not been a fan of this whole rivalry. It doesn't make no sense to me. It has no point to it. It feels like it's just something that was thrown together just to give WWE another storyline. They're trying to do this whole new era thing with, like Apollo, Samoa Joe, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, all the wrestlers coming up from NXT. And so they're trying to do this whole new era thing, kind of like, back in the Attitude Era and things like that. And Sheamus has had a issue with this because he feels like with this whole new era coming on and with all these new wrestlers coming on, that they feel like they're going to try to take his place, and he's not going to stand by let anybody take his place. So he's had an issue with Apollo Creed ever since then. They've had this little feud and rivalry going on. Well, last night in WWE Money in the Bank, they had a match together, and it was a pretty well done match. I mean, there was a lot of action going on. There was a lot of intense heat between the two of them going on, and things like that. So this was a pretty good match. I'd have to say a 3.5 out of 5 for this match. I was pretty interested in it. Now, at the end, I expected Sheamus to win. I really thought that he would win. But at the same time, I know they're trying to push this whole New Age thing in, so I kind of expected Apollo to win, which he did. Apollo did beat Sheamus for the win, which I know is going to fume Sheamus even more. Either that or they're just going to end the storyline between the two of them. I really don't know. But it was a huge win for Apollo to beat someone like Sheamus, who's been, more than one time a WWE champion. So this was a good match for him, a good opportunity, and a good win. So congratulations to Apollo on that. Then your next match, you had John Cena and AJ Styles have their match together. Now, I've been looking forward to this match since it came to be that they were going to have this match. They've done good as far as the storyline going with them and everything. And for any of you who are not John Cena fans, which I know I'm a huge John Cena fan, but for any of you who are not, you can't deny that he makes whoever he wrestles a better person or better wrestler than they were before they even came to him, and or he makes them look better than they are, or even makes them just look good. And that's what he did last night. He made AJ Styles look good. and he delivered what he needed to deliver. The only problem is this match was an awesome match. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 on this match. A lot of action, a lot of things going on, a lot of back and forth. You know, they kept kicking out of each other's stuff and everything else. And but then at the end of the match, it got ruined. I think a lot of us expected this to happen. I was hoping it wouldn't, but a part happened where John Cena accidentally pushed AJ Styles into the referee. As soon as that happened, we all know that the club was going to come out, which they did come out. They beat down John Cena, and AJ Styles got the win. So now the question has to be, which I'm sure John Cena will come out tonight and he'll ask, can AJ Styles beat John Cena without help? Because he can't say he can, because last night the club came out. You know, so who knows? Can AJ Styles beat John Cena? I guess we won't know right now. Hopefully the next pay-per-view, or even maybe tonight, we'll find that out for sure. I do expect AJ Styles to be out there. I do expect John Cena to be out there tonight talking about the match, and John Cena calling out AJ Styles, or even the club for that matter, for what happened last night. Then you had, of course, the Money in the Bank match, which was Chris Jericho, Dean Ambrose, Alberto Del Rio, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and Kevin Owens. Now, this match was an awesome match. This match was a good match. A lot of action going on. A lot of things used in this match. You really, for a while, you really didn't know who was going to win it. My pick was Dean Ambrose to win, but I kind of felt like maybe it was going to be a Cesaro or even Sami Zayn that was going to win. But my pick was Dean Ambrose, because I am a big Dean Ambrose fan. Between the 6 of them, he was the one that I would really hope win, and especially since the whole WWE heavyweight title match was between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. So either way, he would have been fighting one of his ex-Shield brothers, and so this was a good match. But at the very end of the day, Dean Ambrose did win the match against the other 5. So he was able to climb that ladder, grab that briefcase, and have his opportunity. Now, if you don't know what Money in the Bank means on this match, it means now that he has that briefcase, he's able to cash that in at any time, any place, anywhere, to have an opportunity to take the WWE Championship for himself. If you all remember last Monday night on Raw, he had said during his Ambrose Asylum to Seth Rollins and to Roman Reigns, what's going to happen if I win the Money in the Bank match and I cash in the same night and take the titles from either you, Seth, or you, Romans. Now remember, I said that. Or it brings me to now the next match, which was Rusev and Titus O'Neil. Now, I really don't know what to think about this match. You know, Titus O'Neil got fired, or not fired, but put on suspension from WWE for him touching Vince McMahon during a live show. And then he comes back and he's able to get an opportunity for a title shot. I don't know if that was their way to apologize to Titus O'Neil, saying, look, we're going to give you a title shot, but you're not going to win. Because that's exactly what happened. Rusev was able to keep and defend the United States title. So he's still your United States champion. Titus O'Neil did a good match. I feel with both of them being both muscular, there should have been more hard-hitting things going on, a lot more hard-hitting moves than there was. I think the match was slower than it should have been. but who am I to say, right? So that match wasn't the greatest match, but it was a match they threw on the card. I think it was just that. I think that's just what it was. I think they just needed to add another card or to the show. And then finally, you had the Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins match for the WWE title. Now, this match was an awesome match. I mean, they both gave it to each other. They both pushed it to the limits, kicking out of each other's special moves, dodging each other. I mean, this match was a 4.5 out of 5. It wasn't the perfect match, but it was great. It was awesome. I love this match. But Roman Reigns lost the match. Seth Rollins did win the title and became the new WWE champion. So, he was out there celebrating and everything else, because he won the title, his little way he does it. And as soon as he was, here comes Dean Ambrose and his music. Seth Rollins is looking down the ramp trying to find Dean Ambrose, and guess what? Dean Ambrose is not there. Dean Ambrose came from behind, and as soon as Seth Rollins turned around, he hit him with that briefcase. He rolled out of the ring. He handed the briefcase to the referee and says, "I want this match." So it came back in. They rang the bell. Dean Ambrose grabbed Seth Rollins, gave him the special move, the dirty deeds, piled him to the ground. 1, 2, 3. Dean Ambrose is finally your WWE champion. So I think this is going to be a hell of a ride. I feel like this is going to be something that we haven't seen in a while. I feel like maybe this would be kind of like the Stone Cold era. When Stone Cold was champion, all hell is going to break loose. Things are just going to be crazy and insane. I'm glad that Dean Ambrose won. I've been wanting Dean Ambrose to win for a while now. But you got to think about this, though, too. That means all 3 members of the Shield have now won this title. You went from Roman Reigns to Seth Rollins to Dean Ambrose. And in one night, last night, they all 3 had that title. Roman Reigns came in with it. Seth won it last night, and Dean took it from him. Now, you got to remember, that's kind of like deja vu. The same thing that Seth Rollins did to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns won that title at a pay-per-view. And then Seth Rollins came in, cashed in, beat him. Same thing Dean Ambrose did to Seth Rollins. So payback, pretty much is what that was. So that was a good match. Altogether, this card, this show was a really good show. Like I said, they had some defaults, things like that. You're always going to any pay-per-view. I feel like this pay-per-view was one of their better pay-per-views that they've had. So I was really impressed with this match. I feel some of the matches shouldn't have been in there, but I'll digress and say that it was a good pay-per-view. But like I said, I'm very glad that Dean Ambrose is now your WWE champion. So with that being said, that is my review on this. That is results from last night's WWE Money in the Bank. If you did miss it, you can always pay $9.99 and go watch it on the WWE Network. And you can watch a bunch of other stuff on there as well. And no, I'm not being paid to say that. It's just that I'm trying to help you guys out. If you're wrestling fans, why pay the full price of a pay-per-view when you can pay $10 to watch that plus anything else you want to watch that comes on that channel? So again, that's my stuff on this. So now I'm going to go ahead and say, like, comment, subscribe, favorite if you like this video, give it a thumbs up if you did, thumbs down if you didn't. Either way, thank you for joining me for another episode. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Look forward to some more food reviews, food challenges, wrestling reviews, and other things coming on this channel that I do. So take care, be safe, have a good day, and I'll catch you soon for another episode. So y'all take care. I'm out.